They are building it now. I can hear the hammer. Every strike reminds me that by tomorrow I will be ashes. The guards think they are preparing my grave. They are mistaken. Fire can consume a body, but it cannot decide the truth. Tomorrow they will burn a 19-year-old girl. Tonight, I will tell you why I refuse to save myself. My name is Jean. The world remembers me as Joan of Arc. Some call me a saint. Others, a witch. Perhaps you've wondered the same thing my judges did. Did I truly hear voices? Or did I simply believe I did? Only God knows what another soul has heard. I can only tell you what I lived. I was born in a village called Domremy. No palace, no noble family, no prophecy waiting for me. My father worked the fields. My mother taught me to pray. I could not read. I had never held a sword. History was happening somewhere else until one summer afternoon. It came looking for me. I was 13. The church bells had just rung. The wind stopped. Everything became still. Then, a light. Not like the sun. Softer. Brighter. Peaceful. Years later, I told my judges exactly what I believed. The first voice belonged to Saint Michael. Later came Saint Catherine. And Saint Margaret. People always asked the wrong question. What did they look like? That never mattered. What mattered was what they asked of me. Remain faithful. Trust God. Do not be afraid. Then came the command that changed my life forever. Go to the Dauphin. Help him save France. I almost laughed. Me? A farmer's daughter? France had knights, generals, princes. Surely heaven could find someone better. I prayed they would choose another. The voices never changed. Neither did the command. France was breaking apart. The English controlled much of our land. Villages burned. Families fled. Many believed our kingdom would disappear forever. Hope had become rarer than victory. Years passed before I finally obeyed. When I left home, I wasn't brave. I was terrified. Faith is not the absence of fear. It is taking the next step while fear walks beside you. When I reached the king's commanders, they laughed. Some called me mad. Others thought I was possessed. I do not blame them. Imagine hearing my story from a stranger. A teenage girl claiming God had sent her to save France. I would have doubted her too. Yet, one impossible thing followed another. Doors opened. Questions became conversations. Conversations became opportunities. Until one day, I stood before Charles, the uncrowned heir to France. History remembers him as a king. When I met him, he was simply a man carrying the weight of a dying kingdom. We spoke alone. I have never revealed everything we discussed. Some things belong only to the souls who shared them. But when we left that room, he believed me. Soon afterward, I was given armor, a horse, a white banner bearing the names of Jesus and Mary, and an army. Imagine their faces. Battle-hardened knights waiting for orders from a 17-year-old girl who had never fought a battle. I did not ask them to believe in me. I asked them to believe that France was not abandoned. Something changed, not only in the army but in the hearts of ordinary people. For the first time in years, hope began to outrun fear. Then came Orleans, the city everyone believed would fall. The English had surrounded it for months. Food was running out. The soldiers were exhausted. Even experienced commanders doubted victory. I remembered only one thing. The words I had carried since I was 13. Be steadfast. Trust God. Do not be afraid. Tomorrow, they will ask why I chose the fire instead of denying those words. To answer that, you must first see what happened outside the walls of Orleans. Because before they called me a heretic, they called me the girl who changed France. Orleans, The city was starving. Its walls still stood, but its hope was collapsing. I rode beneath my banner not because it could stop an arrow, but because it reminded every soldier why we were there. Not for glory, not for revenge, for France. The fighting was fierce. Smoke darkened the sky. The cries of wounded men echoed through the streets. Then, an arrow struck me. It pierced my shoulder, and I fell. The pain stole my breath. Some begged me to stay behind. Others believed the battle was lost. But I remembered the words that had carried me this far. Be steadfast. Trust God. Do not be afraid. I returned, not because I could no longer feel pain, but because courage is not the absence of fear. It is choosing to stand one more time. When the soldiers saw me ride back into the battle, their courage returned with me. Days later, the siege of Orleans was broken. For the first time in years, France believed victory was possible. Soon we marched to Reims. There, Charles was crowned King of France. As the crown touched his head, I stood beside him holding my banner. Someone asked why I carried the banner instead of my sword. I answered simply, it had shared in the hardship. In that moment, I believed my mission was complete. The voices had guided me. The king had his crown. Perhaps I could finally go home. I never did. Victory changes people. So does power. The same nobles who once welcomed me began whispering behind closed doors. Some questioned my visions. Others feared the influence I had over the people. Then, during a battle outside Compiègne, everything changed. I was captured, not by the English, but by Burgundian soldiers allied with them. I waited. Surely the king would come. Surely France would not abandon the girl who had helped save her. Every sunrise, I hoped. Every sunset, that hope became smaller, until I finally understood. No one was coming. I had helped place a crown upon a king, but I would face my fate alone. That truth hurt far more than my chains. The English bought me, not because they feared my sword, but because they feared what I represented. If they could prove I was a liar, then every victory I inspired would become a lie as well. So they put me on trial, not before soldiers, but before scholars. Month after month, they questioned me about the voices, about my faith, about the clothes I wore. They searched every answer, hoping to find a contradiction. One day, they asked me a question they believed no one could escape. Are you in God's grace? If I answered yes, they would accuse me of pride. If I answered no, they would claim I admitted my guilt. So I answered, if I am not, may God place me there. If I am, may God keep me there. For a moment, even my judges had no reply. Truth sometimes speaks most clearly through simplicity. Eventually, they condemned me, not for murder, not for treason, for refusing to deny what I believed God had shown me. Tomorrow, they will call it justice. History will call it something else. The hammer has stopped. The stake is finished. A guard unlocks my chains. Morning light pours through the doorway. The streets of Rouen are already full. Some have come to mock me. Some have come to pray. Some simply want to see a young woman burn. I do not hate them. Most are only watching history, without realizing they are standing inside it. They tie me to the stake. The wood is rough against my back. The rope tightens around my body. I ask for one thing: a cross. A soldier makes one from 2 small pieces of wood and places it in my hands. Another cross is held before my eyes. I fix my gaze upon it, not upon the crowd, not upon the fire, upon Christ. The flames begin to climb. The smoke fills my lungs. Pain unlike anything I have ever known surges through me. Yet beneath the agony I remember, not new voices, no final miracle, only the same words that first found a frightened girl in a quiet garden years ago. Be steadfast. Trust God. Do not be afraid. They were never promises that life would be easy. They were reminders that faith is often tested. When the world believes it has already defeated you, with my final strength, I speak one name, Jesus. Again, Jesus. Those who witnessed my death later said, that was the name they heard until the flames drowned out every other sound. 25 years later, another trial would examine my case. Witness after witness testified. The court declared my original trial unjust. My name was cleared. Centuries later, I was declared a saint. But that is not why I stood firm. I did not remain faithful because I expected history to remember me. I remained faithful because truth does not become false simply because it is condemned. Tomorrow, they will reduce my body to ashes, but they cannot burn away conviction. They cannot burn away courage. And they cannot burn away the hope that carried a farmer's daughter from a forgotten village to the pages of history. My name is Jean. The world remembers me as Joan of Arc. They believed they were ending my story. Instead, they ensured it would never be forgotten.